Okay, folks, we are live. Albinario just arrived in the lobby. They've just set up the match. We're in the first rack, and this is the playoff match in the one-loss side to see who plays Yamaguchi Taru in the final of this year's VP4 US Open. So it's a race to 11. We have Albinario from Sweden and Bedhead from Sweden. And the rules again: alternate break, no jump cues in the tournament, and the wild 9-ball in the break. If it goes in, you win the rack. So Albinario's at the table. He's blocked out in the 3-ball. Well, all he's done is left a combo again. There was a combo there in the first place. He's tried to tie up the 4 and the 6, but he's played the 4, but actually set it up as an easier combo. So ball in hand for Bedhead, and the first chance to get the first rack in the board. So a simple enough out. Well, I've said all along through the tournament that Bedhead is the guy I was putting money on that would have the game to match up to Yamaguchi Taru, and no sooner have I said that than he's put the left hand spin to get over for the 9-ball, but he spun the 7-ball into the jaws. And that could be a crucial mistake, even this early on, because we've seen what happens with alternate break. So Albinario's going to pinch this. And I don't know who broke off because I was late getting in. But Albinario has stolen the first rack because Bedhead broke off in the first rack. So that is a rack against the break, and it could be important. It's only a short race to 11. So Albinario in rack number 2. And the break isn't working for him. He's come up dry and he's left it. Well, it's a good chance. The only problem is the 4-ball. 3-ball's a little bit hidden behind the 9. It just makes it a little bit awkward as well. So this isn't a guaranteed run out. And where Bedhead is on this 2-ball, I don't know what he wants to do here. Whether he wants to come into the middle of the table and try and leave the cut on that 3, or try and come up behind the 3 on the side rail. So he's playing from the middle, and this is where the problem starts. And this is going to be a good shot to get anywhere near this 4. The best he might get is a bank into the right middle pocket, but he needs to avoid hitting the 9-ball. Well, I don't know whether he changed his flag, but I noticed in the last match or the other previous matches that he had a Swedish flag, so I presume he's from Sweden. So anyway, here we go. Bedhead. He's either going to play safe or he's going to go for a none too easy combo here in the 8-ball, but he's played it well. here's the important one, getting the pace on this. Now, Bedhead, we've seen, has a tendency to leave things short, and he leaves himself sometimes too much work to do. We'll see if we can get up to this 6 ball here, or down to this 6 ball. And he's going forward, and I think he's got the pace right this time. That's pretty good. So it's looking very likely that the first 2 racks have gone against the break. But we've already had one error by Bedhead on that 7 ball in the first rack that cost him. And Bedhead breaking off in rack number 3, the 4, and what went in, the 6. And he's got a shot on the 1. And if he gets the pace in this right, he's got an angle off the 1 to go there, and that direction. Unless he does something funny with the cue ball, but that's the sort of general direction he wants to be going. Is he going to come into the 3? Oh, that's a bit lucky. Now, the problem, of course, is he can't avoid hitting the 5. And he's going to have to chance his arm here with this 2 ball if he's going to get out for the 3. So this is where it can go wrong. When you're colliding into another ball, when you're potting 1 ball, you really don't know where the cue ball's going to finish up. Well, he's managed to control it well, and he's got a nice angle because he can just roll the 3 in and drop in behind the 5 into the top left. Bedhead's been in the virtual pool lobby since the middle of the afternoon. I don't know whether he's been playing all that much, but he's certainly been waiting a good few hours. Albinario's just arrived 10 minutes ago, and they've arranged a match, so we'll see who settles down the quickest. It looks like Bedhead's going to go into the lead. And the break will go back to Albinario, and this is where the alternate break can end up being a problem, because the pressure now is on Albinario to get a ball and get a shot on his first ball. Stream looks okay, and that looks as if it's going to be dry as well. Now here could be a quick 1-9 combo, not easy, but Albinario will use his shot clock here to line this up, but he has to hit this fairly firm, because if he tries to baby it in, he's taking a big risk of nudging the jaw and just hanging it over the pocket anyway. So the worst thing he could do is to hit this firm and it comes away from the pocket. Well, he didn't hit it firm, and he's got the 9 away from the pocket but left the 1 hanging. And this isn't easy to get anywhere on this too, because the 1's right in the pocket and the cue ball's close to the rail, so this is a tough one. Shit, I thought it was Albinario. It was at the table playing that 1-9 combo. I've already lost a place. It's about time for my bed. Well, I would strongly suggest a half-decent safety here. Unless he can squeeze it past the 8, which he can. Well, I don't know what he tried. I think he tried to finish in behind the 4, but he's left it on, and I think Bedhead's going to have to come across the table here, get out into the middle of the table for that 3 into the middle pocket. So now this is definitely a chance to open up the gap. But the crucial shot is from the 5 to the 6. And the 6 is secluded away behind that 7 ball. And the 9 ball could come into play depending on what angle he has on this 5. He's going forward with inside English. And he's left that 2 straight. So it's got to just be a draw. And he has to get the pace of this right. If he doesn't get into it enough, he's going to block himself out with the 7. So he's better over hitting this slightly. Is he getting there? I think he's just got there. He's played that perfect. And he'll draw back off this 6, I think. A little draw and 7 ball into the same pocket. And I think he can come out behind the 9. I don't think he'll hit the 9. Oh dear, that was poor, and that's the second mistake on the 7 ball, and that really was bad. An easy 7, didn't have to do anything with the cue ball at all. And that'll give Albinario all the encouragement he needs, because Bedhead's had chances, and well, the one mistake in the first rack cost him. And it could actually be 4-0 right now to Bedhead. But it's now 2-all. So the 2 mistakes so far have been by Bedhead. And Bedhead breaking open rack number 5. He's come up dry again. And Albinario, well, he can go for the bank, but he's much more likely to be trying to tuck this cue ball away, and that's weak. That is not a great shot, because he should have that well hidden. Now, I think he's got it hidden partially yet. He can't see the 1, but it's very simple to hit the 1. Just a little bit of spin. But no knowing where this is going to go. And the 1 is on. The 2 is on as well, but look at where there's 2 windows to get on that 2. There's 1 there, which is really awkward, and there's 1 there or there. In fact, there's 3 ways to get on the 2, but none of them are easy. Well, he's went for the 1 in the middle of the table. It is a cut. Now, he might just be able to brush off this 5. The problem with that, though, is if he does, he's going to push the 5 into where the 3 is. That's why he drew off it. That was clever. If he'd brushed that 5, he'd have just pushed it in front of the 3 ball. He's got even more problems now, because he's going to have to leave this 4 long and probably play it from behind the 8 ball on the right rail. and that will give him an angle. Well, he's went for the gap, and well, he's a bit straight. He's got a slight angle, and he's got a bit of traffic to avoid. This will be a good shot to go on the 5. Yeah, now he's in trouble. I don't know why he didn't go to the rail, because if he went to the right hand rail, if he went this way on that ball, he can get the cue ball moving. The angle he had with that down the rail there meant he could only come back so far, and he's misjudged it, and now he's in trouble. And it's the old kick and hope. So the mistake this time is by Albinario, and Bedhead, ball in hand, should run out. I think he'll be dreading getting to this 7 ball, because he's made 2 glaring errors in the 7 so far. So he's plotted his way out. Well, he can go out off that left rail and back into the middle of the table for the 7, or he can draw up behind it for the 7 into the opposite corner pocket. And I think he's a bit undecided here, Bedhead. And when you get that that kind of thought process going through your head, that is not good, because that was another gilt edge opportunity there to take this rack, and he's made a complete hash of it. So maybe a little bit of nerviness. And Albinario, sorry, Bedhead, Albinario making a hash of it. Am I out of sync here? Hang on a minute. Let me go back in. Maybe my head's just out of sync. Yeah, it is Bedhead at the table. That's the trouble with me sitting here for 2 hours waiting and Albinario turning up. I'm falling asleep. So it's Bedhead that takes the lead. Presume it's 3-2. Many's in this room. 7. So rack number 6, Albinario breaking. 6 ball has gone in. Well, the wrong angle in the 1. Looks as if he's playing a deep draw into the... Well, he's went long. And I suppose that's not bad, because he can run into the 3, but no guarantee where it's going. It's going to run to the rail, obviously. And that's what happens when you're so focused on getting a split. The eye comes straight off the shot. So we're seeing... we're seeing errors everywhere. We're seeing errors from Bedhead, errors from Albinario, at least 2 errors from me, because I don't know who's playing. I'm not paying attention to who's at the table. I think I need another drink. I think the pressure's getting to me. And this time it's definitely Albinario back at the table with a definite good chance. If he gets this 2 and gets the cue ball off the rail, well, again, they ain't going in. And surely this time Bedhead is going to open up the gap. So it's untidy so far. Well, Albinario's hit the nail right in the head. He should have warmed up. Just came into the lobby. And Bedhead, well, maybe he's been doing too much warming up because it's not helped his game. Now is that... well, just off the side railing into the middle of the table somewhere, that'll do. Now, this looks all too easy. The only way it will go wrong is dependent on how he leaves himself in this 8. So he's left himself just to run through off the end rail and back up into the middle of the table. He doesn't want to get elaborate here. But more important, it's going to be 4-2 to Bedhead. And he's now got that safety, the safety net of the extra rack. And of course with alternate break, it makes all the difference. So Bedhead's breaking off in rack number 7. He's come up dry, but he's come up safe. Albinario can't see the 1. So he's going to look to push. Well, there's no safety behind that bunch of balls in the top right, so Bedhead could possibly put Albinario back in. I mean, he can get a thin edge off this 1, but he can't really get many areas to hide the cue ball. He's going to try and possibly get back down to where he is just now. But he's actually decided to give it back to Albinario. Probably a wise move. And he's going to get the benefit of it. Albinario got that far too thick. And Bedhead, when he's coming to the table, it's going to have to be a 2-5 combo. Now he's going to have to play this with a bit of inside English, I would think. So as he looks at it, he should be playing it with right hand English. He's got a little bit on it to check the cue ball and come back down the right hand side of the 3. And he's done that to try and get this as straight as he can for the combo. And what he doesn't want to happen is this 2 ball has to come off the rail and go that way. So he's got to judge the pace. And he could lock himself out on this 2 ball next, depending on the pace he plays this combo. But all of a sudden, for Albinario, this has become an important rack. Well, he's played it, and he's played it firm, and the 2's gone in as well. I suppose that's a bit of a bonus, but he's left himself a toughie in the 3. And he's going to go for the cut, because the chances are he's going to run into the 6. If he pots the 3, he's on the 4. And the 6 ball may well stop the cue ball running away here. Well, he's played it with draw to avoid that. Played it well, but he's left himself another none too easy one. It's well off the rail. But look where the 6 ball is, though. He's got to get this cue ball over to the left and not block himself out with the 8 ball. I think he should be well away from that. Well, he's playing it with a bit of draw. And that's... he's just trying to get to that cut angle in the 6. He actually played it too well, and he's left the 4 hanging. Albinario is going to play this rail first, hit the edge of that 4, and try and get the cue ball somewhere up the table. Anywhere within this area. He's going to have the cut. Now this has got to be good, because if he starts getting too gentle and delicate with this, he's going to end up nowhere. And I think he's almost got there. Now he can play this with a bit of right English again to check the cue ball and come up straight off the end rail. So Albinario looks as if he's going to escape here in this rack. And it's all down to another mistake by Bedhead. And it's back to just the one in it. And the break has gone back to Albinario. Now let's see if he can get something this time. Well, the 5 balls get in top left. The 8 balls came in between in the 1 and the cue ball, and Albinario's on the 1. And there isn't a problem. The only problem is this slight angle in the 1. Well, that was a bit of good fortune. Ran into the 7. But it's done him a favour. He's sitting nice on the 2. Now ideally he should try and get up as close to the 3 as he can, but he's leaving himself a big distance. And the problem with this is judging the pace in this shot to get to the 4. And that's where it's went wrong. And now he's got, well, he's got a thin cut in the 4. And in it goes. Perfect angle in the 6. And he's got the choice of going, he can either go that way, or he can actually come back this way. It depends what he's comfortable with. But the way that he's chosen is the best way, because he's now got the angle in the 7 to come over and drop in behind the 8. Well, this is just a little soft, delicate draw. So Albinario is going to square the match up. And we're at 4 racks all in the race to 11. And the break in rack number 9 goes back to Bedhead. And this is what it's all boiling down to. The least mistakes, and whoever can actually get a ball on their break and run out, because it immediately puts the pressure on the opponent. And Bedhead has sunk the 1 in the break. He's on the 2. Everything goes. And you've got to get this. You've got to expect to get this rack. It's only going to be unforced error that is going to undo him here. And again, the nerves are showing. He's definitely not fully switched on here. But let's see now if Albinario can get his act together. And this would be a bit of a pain here for Bedhead if Albinario pinches this. Where's the cue ball going though? Oh, he's okay. Well, he's okay in the fact that he didn't scratch, but he's got no shot in the 3. Now, what's he trying here? Is he trying the thin cut into the middle? No, he's trying to get cover and he's nowhere near it. So Albinario had his chance there and failed straight away and didn't even get to the rail. So this is not the standard I was expecting for these two players in this match. It's really been not so much scrappy, but Bedhead more especially. He's been missing little soft ones and leaving 7 balls over the pocket, and Albinario's just not ready to pounce. And we saw how hard he had to work to win his last match. Came back from well behind to winning the final rack decider. Now, well, there's plenty of room. Well, goodness knows what this score would have been if each player had actually taken their chances, but Bedhead could be... He could actually be... What's the score? 8-all. He could be 7-1 up. He's made enough mistakes that you could count that's cost him racks. But then again, there's been as many mistakes that Albinario just couldn't capitalise on. But it's now 5-4 to Bedhead. Albinario has broken off in rack number 9. It's come up dry. And surely now Bedhead's got his game face on. 3 balls the problem. Well, you've just got to find a gap between the 7 and the 6 here. Just a little roll through. He doesn't want to leave himself too high in the 3. But if he takes too much of a risk, he can block himself with a 6. So this has got to control the pace. Well, he could have done with another couple of inches running on that, but as I say, that was a danger, running too far. Well, he's gone too far again this time. Now, it's the thin cut of the bank. And he's played that well. Cue ball's tracking nicely into the middle of the table. And it should be just a run through off the end rail. Anywhere there and then back up here will do. No, he's gone left side, so he might just roll through in this 6. That's the simplest shot, but he needs to get the good angle on the 7 into this left hand middle. If he just rolls through, he's got the 7 into the middle. And how's the angle? Let's go from his end. Well, that's straightforward enough, just a roll onto the rail. So Bedhead is going to open up the 2 rack gap again, and he's going to be halfway home, leading by 6 racks to 4. And breaking off in rack number 11. And the 5 balls going in top left. The 3 ball's going to follow in. Something else went into the left middle. We've lost the 3, the 5 and the 7. And he's got not an easy shot in the 1. And he's probably going to have to run after this 1 ball and get the cue ball around the rails here to have a sight on this 2 ball. He could dig right down into the cue ball, but that's making the shot much, much more difficult. He's probably better off just running and taking the chance. Well, at least, oh dear, what's happened here? Well, maybe he wasn't better off running because he's scratched. Another crucial mistake. And a ball in hand for Albinario, and he needs to get this to hang in there. Get it back to within 1. Well, right now, there's no pattern to this match whatsoever in the sense that you can tell how it's going to go. It's such a short race. And so many unforced errors creeping in, or they've crept in right from the start, but you just don't know what's going to happen. Anyway, it's well, it looks likely it's going to be 6-5 to Bedhead. And I think what the break goes back to Albinario, does it? Yeah. And I don't think he's getting any joy. 1 ball's in the open, but look where the 2 is. Well, Bedhead isn't potting that 2, and the only way he is potting it is if he's found the gap here. That's the only place it's going to pot from. Or wait a minute, can he get it from there? So there's 2 windows to get to that 2 ball where you can actually make the potting angle. And he's got enough angle in the 1 ball to actually get the cue ball up the right hand side. Let's see how he does. Well, he's going between the 8 and the 3, and that is perfect. That was an excellent shot. He found the tougher gap. Now, can he get himself on this 3? He's going to play the 3 into the same pocket, and that inside English has done him. It has done him again, and Albinario can certainly just... I think he's going to struggle here because that's actually just in the jaws. He's going to have to be delicate with this one. He might even hit the 5 and hold himself square in the 3. After all that hard work by Bedhead getting onto that shot there in the 2, he's blown it. And if Albinario can get from the 3 to the 4 on the 5, you would think he'd be home and dry in this rack, but I won't speak too soon. He's gone straight in this 4. Needs to punch it in. And that looks to be perfect. He's got the angle. And he's got choices as to how he gets on this 6. He can run behind the 8. He can stun it, which he's done. Slightly the wrong angle. Well, slightly too much angle, not the wrong angle, but too much. He's just going to have to control the draw here. And that will do. There's enough there just to stun off the rail. Back up the left-hand side. Well, he's gone forward anything but too far. And he's gone to that angle where you just have that little doubt in your mind. And these shots, you're better off sighting it and playing it rather than thinking about it too much. But I think Albinario's decided he's going to disconnect and think about it because we've lost him by the looks of it. Yep, it looks as if he's got a connection problem. And the problem is he'll probably come back into the room and he'll already have played this shot on his computer, and he may well have potted it on his computer. And then when he gets back into the game, once the server's saved the game and realises he's disconnected, he'll have to play it again. So we'll get the message up on the screen at some point, I would think. Well, this is going to be interesting when he comes back, I'll tell you. Oh, that's even crazier, because the 7 ball's still in the bloody table now. He must have disconnected a lot earlier than we thought. So now what's he doing? Are we out of sync? And Albinario is saying he's already ran the table. Hold on a minute. Does he see the 7 ball there? I think I'm now out of sync here. Well, let's see what happens here with this. Because that 7 and 8 ball, I'm assuming, are not on the table in Albinario's screen. Right. I'm just going to leave the room and go back in. Well, the 7, 8, 9 still there, so that's how the game has been reloaded from the server. Well, we could have a problem here. Albinario looks like he's lining up the 9. Now I'm wondering what Albinario is seeing here. Well, I think now he must be seeing the 7 ball. Oh, I hit my caps lock button again. Well, that's unfortunate, but that's what happens with internet. The server gets a different, it gets the information different from what we actually see on the screen. And it's all, I mean, everybody that's watching this that are in the room might be seeing something slightly different. But either way, Albie's had a second chance at the 7 and he's actually played it a lot better. Lots of inside English. And now he's got a simple enough 9. So anyway, more importantly, and after all of that, it's now 6 racks all. And Bedhead is breaking in rack number 13. And it's dry. Now Albinario is coming to the table. Well, he's got a 1-6 combo that he has to go for. And of course the problem now is if he gets this dead on the face of the 6, then the 1 ball isn't going far. he has to think about the cue ball. And he's got the cue ball running, but it's not running far enough, is it? No. So all he can do here is try and... I don't even think he can get the edge off that one to skim up the table. He's too close to the pocket, so just a stun. And he's overhit it. And he's left Bedhead an opportunity. Run the one ball in, run the cue ball down to the rail if he wants, or stop it. Well, he just run it gentle. So that 1-6 combo was always going to be how the cue ball tracked. He played the combo pretty well. He just didn't get it quite full in the face, or else the cue ball wouldn't have run to the rail. Not the cue ball, the one ball. And then of course the cue ball didn't track far enough up the table to make the cut. So now Bedhead, well, he's either going to play an elaborate positional shot for the 4 in between the 5 and the 9, or he's going to play, well, what would be the simpler option in terms of moving the cue ball, leaving the long combo. But once again, you've got to think about the tracking angle of this 4 ball. The 4 ball has to go there to make the cut in the 8. So the 4 ball's going that way. Depending on how thick he hits it, it might go that way. Let's see what happens. Well, he's decided to squeeze it in, and he's paid the price. He's now got no shot in the 5. Just a kick. I'm surprised he didn't play the combo, but then again, he's unlucky to finish behind the 5. But that's the breaks. Now if that 5 ball bounces, well, it's still safe. And there's no bank on. The 8's blocking that, so this could be an all or nothing shot. A really thin cut to this bottom right hand pocket. He's went for it, but he's well away from it. And I don't think Albinario had much of an option there but to go for it. But even then, if he'd got it, I think he might have been able to get that 7. Well, that's probably true what Albinario said there. They're certainly not going to frighten Yama with this sort of shooting we've seen so far. But it's Bedhead that is going to go back into the lead. Now every break becomes crucial. There's even more emphasis on getting that ball and getting a shot, and I think Albinario's gone again. Well, he must be on Wi-Fi or something tonight. Oh, no, he's recovered. Oh, the 5 ball's just gone in. And he can see the 1. And he's just going to, well, it's got to be pocket weight because he's going to run into the 9 and that should hold him for the 2. No, he seems to be taking a wee bit longer for his cue to show here. I think his internet connection's just hanging on. Well, just let it run down. Or a wee tiny bit of draw to avoid hitting the 9 maybe. I don't know whether he's tracking towards it. Well, he's going to miss it. And that 7 ball is on the rail, I think. Yep, that is on the rail. This is not easy. Remember, he's trailing 7-6 and he has to get this. And he needs to get that as straight as he can. And it's just going to be a gentle roll down the rail. And if he can roll the cue ball far enough, he wants to get to about there. And that will do, because that's perfect. He can just roll it in gentle again, and he's on the 9. So we're going to be tied up. 7 racks all. And Bedhead breaking off in rack number 15. Two ball goes in. And he's got a shot in the 1. And he's not got anything to do with the cue ball because the 3's in the right rail as well. Ideally, he wants to get closer to the rail with the cue ball. And that should be easy enough to do. That gives him an angle off the 3. The only slight problem there is the 5 and the 9's in the way. Well, that's just going to be a stun in on the 3. If he wants to, he can run through to the bottom rail, but he's going to leave himself too far away from the 4 doing that. He really wants to stun this in and get the cue ball out that way. He's got the angle to do it, but you've got to hit this firm. I think he's running through. Now, is he going to go far enough? Well, this is a bit of a problem because he wants to play this with a bit of left-hand English. And he has to avoid hitting the 6. And the other problem is the 5's blocked by the 8. So it's going to have to be... No, he can squeeze it past. He can squeeze it past. Well, if he went forward, he's going to run into the 7. So he's going to draw off the 6 with the 7 into the same pocket. And probably another draw off the 7. He could run down or he could draw. There's a bit more angle than he would really like for a comfortable draw, and he doesn't want to get anywhere near that 9 ball. So he's played the little draggy shot. Now this is where he's played a couple of delicate little shots earlier on and missed them, hung them up. This is just a little delicate feather to get the 8 in. And a little tester in the 9. So this for 8-7. And in it goes. So Bedhead just needs one more, and the pressure's now on Albinario from this rack onwards. He's got a ball in the break, but he's got no shot in the 1. The 4 ball has gone. Well, he's got to get this good, because if he chips that 1 ball into the rail and kisses the 7, he's just going to leave the 1 ball wide open. And if he goes the other way and just tries to brush off the 1, he could leave the 1 down the rail, even though there's a very narrow gap. He's got to get this right. Is he lining up the combo? Oh, he's went for it. And he's almost got away with it. There's not a big enough gap for that 1 ball to go in. Now, does Bedhead try cutting this onto the 7? That's a toughie. It's too close to the jaw. No, it isn't when you look at it from there. Oh, he's done well. Punched it off the rail into the 7 and into the pocket. Oops, wrong button. What's only 6-7? 8-7. Ah, it's 8-7 right now, but it's going to be 9-7 in a second. Well, it should be. I say should be. Another tester. So Bedhead being a little bit more deliberate to get this run out and give him another 2-rack lead. Well, that's now finished in the worst place it possibly could. Is he okay? Let's have a look. No, I think he's fine. I thought he was going to be queuing over that 9. Well, in goes the 8. So Bedhead is just going to be 2 racks away from a rematch with Yamaguchi Taru, the player that sent him over to the 1 lost side. Yama beat Bedhead by 16 racks to 10 in their first match. And Bedhead's broke off. The ball's gone in. And it's the 1 ball, and he's on the 2. And it's looking very likely a 6-9 combo, if he can get there. Did I say only needed 1 more for the match? I don't know what I'm saying anyway, maybe I did. See, if I'd known that they were going to be starting about 8 o'clock, I'd have actually had a nap. Well, what the hell's he done here? He's going to have to bank the 3. It's a dead set bank by the look of it. He's double banked it. And it's going to have to be another good one in this 4. Probably across the table twice as well. Cut the 4, hit the left rail, right rail, and back across for the 5. Now, well, surely he's just got to pot this and come out behind the right hand side of that 7. He's playing inside English again. He's coming the left side of the 7. That actual little kiss in the 7 has set him up perfect. So this 6-9 combo to go to the hill, and it's 10-7 to Bedhead. So Albinario is in familiar territory. He's trailing by 3 racks, and he needs the 4 remaining racks to get to the final. And he's came up dry. And I think Bedhead here is going all out. He's got the cut in the 1. Now this shot that he's going to have in the 3 ball, the 4 definitely doesn't go, but he can get on the 4 off this 3 if he got that side of the 3 and come round here. He could have the 4 into the same pocket, and he's leaving himself, well, he's got enough angle. Now what does he do? If he plays this with right hand English, he can still go that way. But that's dangerous, because that 6 ball could come into play. But it's really the only way he's going to have a shot at a pocket in this 4 ball. And it's all gone wrong. Now what does he do? Does he play the billiard from the 4 to the 5? Does he play the cut combo from the 4 on to the 5? He looks like he's playing it safe. Or is he playing the billiard? He's playing it safe. And Albinario now is hanging on by his fingertips. He's buried behind the 7. In fact, he's actually not even hanging on by his fingertips. He's gone. Yeah, I think he maybe needs a reboot. It might not be for very long though, because when he gets back to the table, he's going to find himself stuck behind the 7 ball. In fact, he probably hasn't even seen that shot. It'll be interesting to see where this well, this could work both ways, because Albinario had to play 3 balls that he said he already played on that first disconnect. By the time he gets back here, Bedhead might be back at the table, having to play his shots again. No, it isn't. It's definitely saved it at the right point. So let's look at where that cue ball is. Well, that is nailed to the 7. And Albinario's got no chance of kicking at this 4 ball. Well, the best he can try and do is try and tuck the 7 and the 6 up. Or try and tuck something up. He's not got many options, though. That is the problem. He's so close to the 7. Well, I think he definitely sees that he's stuck behind the 7. Well, that's true. Well, if he just pushes this 7 ball gentle, so it's directly in line with if he pushes the 7 directly in line with the 6, he's locked him up. There's not a combo there in the 6 and the 7, and Bedhead would have to try and split them. And he's hit it too hard, he's just left it open. Not the best of moves there, probably just a push onto it would have done it. So Bedhead has the problem of getting from the 4 onto the 5, and the simplest way is just going to be from here. So he's going to roll to there, and he can either play it gentle and leave the 6 long, or he can go that way and out for the 6 past the 7, assuming it goes past the 7, which I think it does. Yes, it does. So this for the match. Well, he's going the gentle way. And a little draw off the 7 for the 8 into the same pocket. Well, the only thing that's going to go wrong here is if he hits this too hard, comes over to the left hand side of the table and scratches in the middle pocket. And he's gone beyond it. So Bedhead is going to win the match by 11 racks to 7. And he goes through to the final to play Yamaguchi Taru in a race to 21. And Albinario, well, he's had a few lucky escapes in the tournament, but not this time. Bit of a problem with the internet tonight, but Bedhead wins 11-7. And we will have a look at the bracket. But I don't think any of the two players can come out of that match with any great confidence in how they played. Well, let's see the bracket. So we can see now the bracket is now complete as far as all the one-loss side has been completed. Albinario goes away with 1,030 $V to his account. And if we move across... Oh shit, hang on a minute. If we move across to the winner's side, we can see that down at the bottom there is Bedhead, and up at the top is Yamaguchi Taru. He's somewhere up there. Now this match has to be played by January the 18th. What the hell's the day's date? This is the 13th, so these guys have got 5 days to arrange their match, and it will be a race to 21. The runner-up will get 1,545 $V, and the winner gets 3,095. So hopefully... Now, what the hell's happened there? You're kidding me on. Am I just seeing things here? Why is that showing Bedhead? Why is that showing Bedhead and Yama both forfeiting in the final round? There's something broken in this. Right, anyway, guys, we've got a problem with the tournament bracket because it shows both players. That's why I'm confused. I'm thinking there's something going far wrong here. It's showing both players have forfeited the final and Bedhead's won it. Oh, that is totally messed up. Well, anyway, we'll leave that up. Now, that if that's gone through to the server, it's unlikely. It's very unlikely Steve is going to do an awful lot to fix it, but we'll see what he does. And with that, folks, hopefully we'll have a final at some point. Not tonight, but hopefully the next few days, and hopefully I'll be able to get it. And until then, thanks for your company. I'm going off to bed, well, in a little while. And we will see you again, no doubt, soon enough.